Today, we are discussing a few areas for focus and concentration that will help new sport climbing leaders stay safe and be successful. Hello, I'm Jason. Our kids each just put up their first sport climbing leads, and last week we talked about the steps they took in their climbing journeys that led them, and us parents, to believe that they were ready to attempt those climbs. Leading a sport climb is less complex than leading a trad climb, but there are still mental patterns related to the act of leading up bolts, which every leader needs in order to climb well and stay safe. The biggest consideration has to be how to transition from climbing a sport climb to lowering off the climb. This is a very important topic, and so we are going to dedicate several full videos on that transition. But this week, we're going to talk about some things that maybe sometimes get overlooked. The first area of focus is how you carry your draws on your harness. There are debates about whether having your gates pointed in or out is better. Frankly, these debates are rather pointless, and you can read a good article about that in the links below. But what isn't pointless is picking your preference of gate direction and doing the same thing every time. Getting that muscle memory down allows you to get your draws off your harness efficiently, which will save you time, and saving time on a vertical cliff means saving energy. A second area of focus is to clip as high as stability will allow. The longer you can climb under the rope, the less likely you are to risk injury from a fall. If the distance from your reaching hand to your belly button is a meter or so, then if you are on a 10-bolt 30-meter climb, you can spend 1/3 of the route under your rope rather than over it. It adds up. The caveat is that you also need to clip when you feel secure, or you end up burning energy and making mistakes. That might not be at your maximum reach. You need to either have good feet or a good non-clipping hand in order to feel secure. Obviously, as you get to harder grades, the notion of what secure means will get more and more tenuous. Once you've decided to make a clip, your next thought is about gate direction. You want the gate facing the opposite direction from your next moves, if you can.
Which direction's the next one?
Um, the right, I think.
So which way is the gate?
It's gonna go to the left.
Yeah.
That way, if you fall, you are bringing the rope down the strongest part of the carabiner, its spine, rather than its gate. Now, maybe the most important part of the mental checklist kicks in, and that is to clip so that the rope goes from the wall out to your harness, not the other way around. Doing this backwards is called back clipping, and it opens up the still unlikely but potentially catastrophic possibility of a high force fall actually creating a bite of rope that unclips itself from the draw. Now that we're clipped in, we need to start moving our mind towards climbing. The first thing to do is check your feet. Do you have a foot between the rope and the wall? If so, move your feet. If you fall and the rope comes tight, you can end up having your foot trapped by the rope. This can spin you upside down, making it very hard to stop yourself from hitting the wall awkwardly at the end of your draw. Finally, we now need to remember that we're climbers. It's time to get out of thinking about management of our clips and the rope and focus on making moves for the next several meters until the next bolt. And I can worry about the lead protection once I get to the next point where it becomes relevant. So that's it. Hopefully that mental checklist is helpful to new leaders watching the channel. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell. And you can check out our website at shortguysbetaworks.com to find gear lists, all of our videos, and additional thoughts and information. Do you have any mental patterns you try to maintain when you climb? What has worked for you? Let us know in the comments section. We'll see you next week, and keep on getting more out of that big outside.